How can that blah, blah, blah? Think you'll be getting this? Nah, in the back of my car. If you keep talking that blah, blah.
Hey, and welcome back to Chit Chat Chris. This is about my 5th time trying to do this video. My webcam was acting up, the sound wouldn't cooperate and match up to the video, so I'm back to my regular laptop camera. So I apologize for the quality now. Now, I just received a new makeup brush set in the mail yesterday, and I did a video yesterday, but again, it messed up. I've tried it again today, so here we are trying once more. Now, this bag came with, it's an 11-piece makeup brush set. It's actually 9 brushes and then 2 more pieces, which I'll show you. It came in a plastic bag, and then inside the bag was this. I'm guessing it's Icini. It's a luxury redefined. It's a little pouch for your makeup brushes. And then it came with a card that has a list of all the brushes and what they're used for. Now, I don't use all of them exactly the way they're supposed to be used, but we'll get into that later. And now they all came individually wrapped, and some of them came not only with a sleeve for the handle, but something over the brush as well. That was a little more sturdy, a little more heavy duty. So they're wrapped wonderfully. They really did think about the integrity of the brush when they wrapped them. So we'll go ahead and get started on the first 2 items, or the first item, because I'm not going to use this one on camera. One of the items it came with is a pair of tweezers. They work well. I did pluck a couple of my eyebrows, a couple hairs flying around here, but didn't want to do that on camera because I'm a wimp and it hurts. And then next we're going to go ahead and show you all the brushes at once. I keep them like I did in my other ones. I have them in a little glass jar. I'm going to combine them once I'm done this tutorial though, or this review. So there are 9 brushes. As you can see, they're all long handle, which I don't know how I feel about. I'm not a big fan of the long handle on some of the brushes, but I love the long handle on the others. So let's go ahead and get started with the look. And I'll do a review of the brushes as I go. First, we're going to go ahead, as I always do, and put on my face primer. Okay, now that I got my face primer on, we're going to take the first brush. Now, this is the foundation brush. Typical flat top, it's soft, but this is much more dense than the last set that I got. I don't know how I feel about that because I thought the other one, even though people said that because it wasn't so dense that it might not put on the foundation well, I thought it did a great job. So this might be a little dense for my liking, but we will see. Okay, so it's just as I thought. It is a little dense for me. It actually clung to the makeup. I used the same amount that I usually use on my foundation, and I didn't get as much coverage. So it actually clung to some of the makeup rather than placing it where I needed it to go. So I'm still out on this one. Maybe if I have an e.l.f. foundation that doesn't go on as thick, so maybe that's something I might use for that one. But for the foundation that I'm currently using, I don't think it works quite right. So we're going to stick with the face first. A lot of people do the eyes first, so if the powder falls, they can correct it, brush it off before they put anything on. But I'm going to go ahead and finish out with my face first. At least my concealer. Let's get all the wet products out of the way. So using the same e.l.f. HD lifting concealer that I always use. I got to get something new because this really is, I'm starting to notice how dark this goes on. Okay, now that we have it on, I'm going to take the next brush. It looks like a paddle. It's supposed to be the precision foundation brush, but I really don't need a precision foundation brush. The foundation is the first thing I put on, so who cares where it gets. So I'm going to use it just to blend out the bigger areas, like on my cheeks, for the concealer, which I'm also using as a bit of a highlighter. All right, now that that's on, there's actually an actual concealer brush in this kit. It's just a smaller version of that one. I could either use this for concealer or I could use it to pack in the eyeshadow in the V of my eye, but I chose to use it as a concealer because the brushes that they have for the eyes are adequate. Now, as you can see, this did great for the precision in between my eyes, the smaller areas like the bridge of my nose. It's a pretty decent brush. One day when I clean it, I might see how it does for eyeshadow because there are a couple brushes that they didn't include in this set that I would have preferred to have. So now we'll go ahead and get started on the eyes now that we've got all the liquid out of the way. I was going to use an illuminator, but it's all about the brushes today. So the next thing that we're going to use is the eyeshadow brush. Now this one's a little fluffy. It's shaped just like this. It's a fluffier version of that. So it's really soft and it really is easy on your eyes. And I'm going to use the Hard Candy, if I can get it open, Hard Candy eyeshadow palette that my husband got me for Christmas. And we're going to apply the base color. Look how easy that went on. So it's very soft and it applies the powder very, very well. Now, in this set, they didn't include a crease brush, which is fine. Not a lot of sets they don't have the pencil brush or the crease brush, but they did provide the blender brush. So instead of just blending with it, I'm also going to apply the crease. All right, so it went into the crease nicely. It's not too dark, not too light. It's a great, I used a plum, so it looked like a good transition color. Now, since we don't have a smaller eyeshadow brush, I'm going to take the same eyeshadow brush and attempt to pack some color in the V of my eye. Okay, so I packed the color in better on one side than the other. It's not as thick as I'd like it to be because the brush isn't as dense and it doesn't have as much control. I got a little bit up here, but it's still soft and it still does the job, as you can tell. So we're going to take the same blender brush, dust off the pigment, the plum, and try blending that out a little bit. Okay, not too bad. Now, one of the misfortunes of this brush set is that it doesn't have an angle brush. Instead, it comes with this eyeliner brush. It's just a very small version of the concealer brush and the precision foundation brush. So I'm not quite sure how it would do making a line, say, with winged eyeliner, but I'm just going to do the basic line across the top. So I'm just going to use the same color that I put in the V of my eye. And there you have it. Now, I could blend this out like I did the rest of it, but it might get rid of the line because it is only an eyeshadow that I used for the eyeliner. And next, I'm going to have to use the same eyeliner brush for my eyebrows since there is no angle brush. I'm going to use the same brown that I always do. My hair will be changing colors in about a week or so, so I'll have to find another color to use after this. And that's good enough for now. It looks funky right there, but I swear I didn't put anything there. It's a little dark. Maybe because it's not the same kind of brush that I'm used to using. It's a little dark. I used the same eyeshadow that I always use to do it. Applied it the same way, but didn't come out the same. So it works okay for eyeliner, just the basic eyeliner, but I'm not so sure how it would work for your eyebrows, obviously. And the last two things I have to do are the contour and the blush. I'm going to use the Femme Couture. I got this at Sally Beauty on sale a couple of years ago. So I'm going to use this brush for the contour first. Okay, and next I'm going to go ahead and do my blush. Now, it says that that same brush is for blush, but I'm going to use this one instead. I can tell you now, because I have used it already, like I said, it doesn't pack on the color that well, but considering this is a daytime look, I'm not really going to go too dark. It'll do for now. Okay, now we have that done. I'll take a picture and post it at the end of the video just to show you in better lighting how this turned out. This brush is I would normally use for the finishing powder, but I don't have any right now anyway, so it was a no-go for that. Overall, this brush set, it's not bad. There are probably a few brushes that I would use in this over brushes in other sets, but there are a few that didn't quite hit the mark. If I were to give it out of a 5-star rating, I'd probably say a 4. They're well made. There are a few on some of these, a few hairs on some of these that are kind of coming down and kind of out of the way, especially like this one. You can't really see them, but they're right here. But they're not falling out, so that's a good sign. We're going to see how they do after I wash them. They came well packaged. They were a decent price. I can't quite remember what the price was, but I'll post the product link below so that you can purchase these brushes if you did like them. But overall, it's not a bad set. It's probably not my favorite, but it's going to get used. I can say that. So I want to thank you for joining Chit Chat Chris. Please subscribe to the channel below. The link for the products in the description box, as well as my other social media links, so that you can follow me for other reviews that I might not post a video for. Thumbs up, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Talking that blah, blah, blah. Think you'll be getting this now?